Thanks for coming in again, Brian. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about your life experience and how that has shaped kind of your thought process. So to begin, I would like to ask, who has been a major influence in your life?
Well, I think like my family and a few childhood friends. When I was a kid, there was a Liam lived on the street, and it was a big influence because we moved from Germany. I'm sure my mom already told you, but he was a good friend when we first moved here, and then my mom and my dad they moved us from Germany when we were younger, so I guess they influenced me in that way. They worked really hard to bring us here.
Okay, so it sounds like your parents are a major influence and they made quite a few sacrifices.
Yeah.
And so, when it comes to culture, how has that kind of shaped the way that you view the world? Because coming from Germany at a young age, that's pretty big.
Yeah, I think that everything's different here. You know, I don't really. I mean, I came from Germany when I was younger, so I don't really know that much of the German culture anymore. Um, but yeah, I guess. Like, do you mean just my German culture, or like?
Well, culture it can be anything. It can be your family or how you do your day to day lives. So,
Well, I guess like my family has been a big impact in like, the way that I see the world. Like, mostly, I guess my dad. I'm sure my mom told you, but my dad left us. He left me, and so he left back to Germany, and so it was just my mom, my sister, and I. And I just, he didn't care. He doesn't care about me. Like, we don't really talk. Like, he left maybe because it was my fault. Maybe like I'm not a good son enough. Like, I'm not a good person, or he didn't love me. Like, I'm unlovable, and like I guess like now when I see people and like I just think they don't. I'm unlovable, so why would they talk to me? If my own father left me, like, why would anybody else?
no, that can be very hard, Brian. And it seems like you're kind of being kind of blaming yourself for your father leaving. And I mean, this seems like probably at the time that it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it kind of shaped how you view yourself, whether you're questioning whether you were worthy enough of your father's love.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Has there ever been an event that you or an experience in your life where you possibly saw something in a new way?
Well, I mean, I guess that like that my dad left us changed everything, and I guess when I got to college too, like I mean, ever since my dad left, I don't want to go out. Like, I don't want to. Why would anybody want to hang out with me? So I just want to stay home. And then in college, like in when I freshman year, like there was this guy, like he was in my class, was like, come to this party, and I didn't want to go, and then he showed up at my house and took me and dragged me out of my house, and I didn't want to go, and like my mom shut the door, and I couldn't even get back in the house, and so I was forced to go. And then when I went, like there was a lot of alcohol, and I never had alcohol before, so I just started drinking, and um, I guess that was a new experience, and so now like I need to have, you know, some vodka and beer before I leave my house to go to parties when friends are trying to force me to. So that event changed everything. Hi, so what you just watched was the therapist and the client The therapist conducted a historic review, which is a technique used in schema therapy. What they discussed was, kind of who influenced and what kind of people influenced and impacted the client. They also talked about, what impact did the culture of the client have on what they're experiencing now in the presenting issue, and also what events led to the issues that they're experiencing now. This is a good technique to use at the beginning of schema therapy, and what you did not see was that the client actually felt uncomfortable, and so the therapist took a break with the client. We're really looking at how the oven baked the chicken.